I know the side effect it has left on us. Now I can not see very well. You can even see my eyes.
Benjamin Ochora is not alone.
I cannot even load airtime this time. It's very difficult.
I cannot step on the sand without putting on a what? On a cap.
I don't want even to stay where there's a lot of noise.
Many survivors of the deadly Ebola outbreak that hit Uganda 14 years ago keep complaining of joint pains and poor health, a condition which authorities in the World Health Organization call the post-Ebola syndrome. Ebola and the Marburg virus are among the most virulent pathogens known to infect humans, but very little is known about them. Some short-term complications that survivors experience include acute renal failure and bleeding in the brain, which can lead to a stroke or even a heart attack. Another complication is the virus's persistence in breast milk and semen for up to 3 months. From the tales of the Ugandan survivors, the people in West Africa will need regular medical examination.
When we started following up the survivors in 2001, we tried to go there and see the patients every 1 month. Then after that, we turned it to 3 months. After that, we turned it to 6 months. Then afterwards, we would go there once a year. And of course, later on, we went once every 3 years.
Further research is needed to understand whether the effects are caused by disease or treatment, or even the heavy disinfection. But the complications are part of a bigger research that the team from the Uganda Virus Research Institute, UVRI, has been studying.
We wanted a blood sample from them to go and find out whether the antibodies they had produced in their bodies were going to remain constant.
UVRI has been following this for 13 years for the survivors in Gulu and Ibundibujo, where the Ibundibujo Ebola virus was first discovered in August 2007.
More recently, we started following up the people in Chibale, and of course the Marburg outbreak. We have also followed up people in Ibanda, Kamwenge, and Kabale.
The team wants to see which exact antibodies the survivors produce.
We have tested them against the virus to see whether these antibodies are still neutralizing the virus over this long period.
The results so far show that very many people produce the same type of antibodies, although some have slightly different ones.
Among the so many different antibodies which are produced, which of these are the ones which are actually the ones which are responsible for neutralizing the virus?
They are yet to find out why some remain constant and others fall off.
Our results show that even after 12 years, many of the people have remained with their antibodies and they are still neutralizing the virus.
Neutralizing the virus means that they are counteracting it, rendering it ineffective.
Probably if you get infected and survive, you may survive. You may be immune forever.
For UVRI, this is one of the biggest findings ever.
And then their blood, can it be used to cure someone else? Is that something we're looking into?
What we were trying to do was pick the antibodies that we have found to be able to neutralize and see how these antibodies could be used to make therapeutics. So it was not our intention to collect blood samples from survivors and then go and inject them in people who are sick.
This is being used on a trial basis in the West African outbreak, which has affected over 20,000 people and claimed over 8,000 lives, according to World Health Organization statistics of 31st December 2014.
It was used in Kikwit in the very first outbreak of Ebola in 1976. I don't recall how many people it was used on, but what we know is some people who here were survived.
UVRI is however confident in its method of searching for treatment and a vaccine.
We should be able to produce antibody proteins which can be injected in people and fight the virus.
In April last year, the team was advanced $28 million, about 76 billion Ugandan shillings, to come up with a vaccine or treatment within 5 years.
With now all the vigor and with all the speed that everything is going on, instead of probably 5 years, it may be up to probably 2 years when we may come out with this.
Currently, there are no licensed vaccines, but 2 major ones are underway, including one being worked on by GlaxoSmithKline and the US National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. There are smaller studies in other countries.
For me, I'm very happy when they come to take my blood, because I wanted, if they could get a vaccine from my blood, it will be very, very good.
Not only for Uganda, whose trend of the filoviruses has increased because of the closer interaction with wildlife and the environment, but for the world at large. Florence Naluyimba, NTV.